After our brief stint with understanding what NPR is, what NCR is, and what it means by things being repeated, not repeated, we've had a very, very basic, downright basic class on combinatorics. Based purely on what we have done so far, here are a bunch of problems of this sheet titled combinatorics, setting our feet on the ground. And the first problem is about these 5 friends, A, B, C, D, E. And A has a 100 rupee note which has to be relayed to C. Question is, in how many ways can that happen? It may not happen directly through C, it can happen through intermediaries like B, D, E, etc. and so on and so forth. So one, of course, is A and C are good buddies. It can directly go to C also, right? So one way it could go from A to C is like directly, right? So that's one way. There is only one way it can go directly from A to C. The other possibility is, say A is here, C is here, and out of these remaining 3, B, D and E, I'll have to select one intermediary. I select one intermediary, and that one intermediary could be B, D or E. It could go to from A to B and then to C, that's one way, or A to D and then D to C, that's another way, or A to E and then E to C. That means I select one intermediary. And selecting one intermediary out of 3 can take place in 3 ways. So then it can go from A to C in 3 ways with one intermediary. It could be B, D or E. The other thing is, it can go from A to C via 2 intermediaries. 2 intermediaries means out of these 3 people, I need to select 2. But the order is important, right? So it's going to be out of 3, I need to do a 3p2. Yes or no? Because, see, BD and DB will be different orders. It can go from A to B, B to D and then D to C, or it could go from A to D, D to B and then B to C. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just selecting 2 people, also arranging them in 2 different ways, right? So that's 3p2, number of permutations of 3 things taken 2 at a time, so with 2 intermediaries. So that's 3p2. And then there can be 3 intermediaries, B, D and E, right? 3 factorial ways, isn't it? These 3 could be mutually arranged in 3 factorial ways. So plus 3 factorial. So how much does it turn out to be? 4 and 6, 10 and 6. 3 factorial by 2, yes, isn't it? How much is it? 4 and 6, 10, and 3p2 is 3 factorial by 1 factorial, 6 and 6, 12, right? No, 6, 3, 9, 10 and 12 and 6, 16. 16. Yes or no? 16 ways. Is about having digits 0, 1, 2 up to 9. These are the digits. And I want to create numbers not more than 2 digits, but having different digits that are divisible by 5. That means essentially from 1 to 99, These are numbers not exceeding 2 digits. How many are divisible by 5? How many are divisible by 5? 19. Isn't it? 19 will be divisible by 5. Divide 99 by 5. That's 19 point something. So 19 would be divisible by 5. Yes or no? From 1 to 9. But there is one which is 55, which has both digits identical. So you want to exclude that, right? You want to exclude that. So it's not 19. It's 19 minus 1. That makes it 18. Do you all realize what I've said? So 18 should be the answer here, right? 18. Here's a problem. And I want to constitute words out of these letters that start with B but do not end in R. I want to constitute words out of these letters that start with B but they don't end in R. So first of all, do you realize what the problem is? So I start with B. How many are there in all? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Other than B, there are 6 more letters, right? So if there is no condition, all words starting with B is about putting B here and the 6 to be arranged in the remaining spaces in how many ways? 6 factorial ways. So these are all that start with B. These are all that start with B. Let's look at those that start with B and end with R. Those are not the ones I want. So from 6 factorial, I'm going to remove those cases that start with B and end with R. So those that these are complementary cases, right? Start with B and end with R. So I have 5 more to be placed here. 5 more to be placed here means 5 factorial ways. So these are not the cases that I want. So from 6 factorial, I take away 5 factorial. Yes or no? So from 6 factorial, I take away 5 factorial. I'll get 720 minus 120. 600, right? 600 is the answer. Let's start with B, but don't end in R. Right? Stand by. So here we have 3 boys and 3 girls. Okay, obviously no repetition is not allowed because you have 1 copy of each boy and 1 copy of each girl, right? So that's for you to judge. The problem will not say. You will assume that there is a single copy of each boy and single copy of each girl, right? And you want to arrange them in a row so that they alternate. Boy, girl, or girl, boy, kind of a thing. And in how many ways can we do that? Very simple. So there would be arrangements that start with boy, right? So first of all, there are 3 boys, B1, B2, B3. And for all those arrangements that start with a boy, these are eligible locations for the 3 girls. Girls can be placed here, G1, G2, G3. So first of all, these 3 boys can be arranged in these 3 places in 3 factorial ways, right? And these girls in these 3 places in 3 factorial ways. So 3 factorial ways, which is 6 into 6, 36. But these are cases that start with boy. But then there are an equal number of cases that start with a girl. So multiply by 2. Yes or no? So 36 into 2, 72 cases, right? So these are cases that start with a boy. There would be cases that start with a girl. G1, G2, G3. And the boy is to be accommodated in these spaces. So 36 for this and 36 for this. That makes it 72 cases in all. Right? Okay, now stand by. Now attempt some problems independently. We have these 7 people and they have to be organized on a circular table. They have to be organized around a circular table, right? And the condition is that P1 and P2 should always be together. They're great buddies, all right? Now, in a general sense, let me first take a detour from the problem and explain to you a generalization around it. So if there is n things, T1, T2, Tn, if these are n things to be arranged on a circular table, n things to be arranged on a circular table, right? The way, so these are called circular permutations. These are called circular permutations. How it happens is, you take any one thing, fix any one of them, fix one, fix any one of them, and then the remaining can be arranged in n minus 1 factorial ways. Yes or no? The remaining can be arranged in n minus 1 factorial ways. The remaining can be arranged in n minus 1 factorial ways. Yes or no? If you fix one, then the remaining n could be arranged around the table in n minus 1 factorial ways. You know? Now, here I have 7 people. They have to be arranged on this circular table. So effective, where P1 and P2 need to be together, right? So essentially, if you think about it, there are 2 and there are 5. So these are 5 different entities. And package these as one entity. P1, P2, since they'll be always together, look them as one entity. Look upon them as one entity. So effectively, how many distinct entities are there? 5 plus 1, 6 entities. So n is 6. Yes or no? N is 6. So effectively, there are 6 people to be arranged on this, around the circular table. So if there are 6 people to be arranged around this circular table, then 6 minus 1, that makes it 5 factorial. That makes it 5 factorial arrangements. But in all those arrangements, I could swap P1 and P2, P2 and P1 with one kind of, that means you'll have to multiply by 2 because P1 and P2 could be swapped. So it's 5 factorial into 2, 120 into 2, that makes it 240 arrangements in all. You know what I'm saying? Now a variant around this circular permutation is, look, when you're actually arranging people around a circular table, n people permuted around a circular table, then the number of permutations is n minus 1 factorial. But suppose there is a situation where you are given n flowers and you want to create a garland, a circular garland out of those flowers, right? Would you then not want to believe that the clockwise permutations and anti-clockwise permutations would be the same? They'll be indistinguishable in a garland. They'll be indistinguishable in a garland. I mean, I have a garland and I can look at it like this, in which this arrangement appears circular, but I flip it by 180 degrees. The garland I flip by 180 degrees. Then what appeared to be circular is now what appeared to be clockwise is now anti-clockwise. You know what I'm saying? If this is a garland that you have, right, and there is an arrangement here of flowers, right? Say this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Now when you flip it by 180 degrees or you look at it from behind, then this 1, 2, 3, 4 that look clockwise will now be anti-clockwise. But it's the same garland. You're looking at it like this or you're looking at it from the other side. So clockwise and anti-clockwise permutations are indistinguishable. If they were distinguishable, then they would be n minus 1 factorial. But if they are indistinguishable, the number of permutations will exactly become half, because for every clockwise arrangement, an anti-clockwise arrangement of the same kind has been included, but I must include only one of them, right? So if it's a garland and you have 1, 2, 3, 4 like this, flowers arranged like this, and the same garland I flip it by 180 degrees, then what would I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's actually the same arrangement. So 2 should be counted as 1 then. So n minus 1 factorial should be divided by 2 to suppress that additional count, because in a garland, the clockwise and the anti-clockwise arrangements are indistinguishable. They are the same. In this n minus 1 factorial, this, see, when does this happen? This 1, 2, 3, 4 around a table and this 1, 2, 3, 4 around a table are different permutations around a table, isn't it? But in a garland, they are the same. But in a Garland, they are the same. Yes or no? You know what I'm saying? That's why in a Garland, for example, you'll have to divide by 2 so as to imagine that this and this are actually the same in a Garland but different in a table. Right? That's why you divide by 2. Now, so you understand what we did in this problem? So it's like 7 people, and there are could be looked upon as 6 entities, P1 and P2 as 1 unit. So I have 6 things to be permuted around the circular table, and that can be done in 5 factorial ways. But P1 and P2 could be interchanged as well. So I double the count. Right? So that makes it twice into 5 factorial, that is 240 count. Right? Got me now? No? Unsure about this? Please ask. 5 factorial ways. N minus 1 factorial, na? N is 6 now. N is 6. So n minus 1 factorial, which is 5 factorial ways, isn't it? If I have n things to be permuted around a circular table, then the number of permutations is going to be n minus 1 factorial. Yes or no? Stand by. We have these digits at our service 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Out of these digits, we want to create all natural numbers that are larger than 22,000, that are larger than 20,000, given that repetition is not allowed. Larger than 20,000, 22,000, given that repetition is not allowed, right? How many such n's can we produce? So first of all, what we do is, if there was no restriction on n and repetition was not allowed, and I want to create, see, this is a 5-digit number, I want to use all of them, right? And repetition was not allowed, then using these 5 digits, how many numbers could I have produced? 5 factorial, right? So without restriction, that means this is my restriction. I call it, if this restriction was not there, then without restriction, but without repetition also, the total number of 5-digit numbers that I could produce out of these 5 digits is going to be 5 factorial. Yes or no? From this 5 factorial, I want to remove those numbers that are smaller than 22,000. 5 factorial total. From this, I want to remove those numbers that are smaller than 22,000. Yes or no? Right? Now, smaller than 22,000 means there is, say, one category in which, you know, the numbers start with 1. Any number that will start with 1 will be smaller than 22,000. So first, those numbers that start with 1. You got my point now? So now, how many spaces do I have? 4 spaces left, in which I have to arrange the remaining 4 digits. In how many ways can I do that? 4 factorial ways. Yes or no? You know, starting with 1, they will all be less than 22,000, right? Second, those numbers that start with 21, those numbers that start with 21, they will also be smaller than 22,000, right? That means now I have 3 spaces in which the remaining 3 digits have to be arranged in 3 factorial ways. So that means this plus this is the count that I don't want. This is 24 plus 6, 30. And total is 5 factorial. 5 factorial is 120. If there were no restrictions, then 120, I don't need these 30 because these are smaller than 22,000. So 120 minus 30, that makes it 90. 90 is my count. Yes or no? Got me now? Stand by. Is about 5 mathematics books, different. It's not copies of the same book. These are 3 different books, M1, M2, M3, M4, M5. There are 3 physics books, different, P1, P2, P3, and 2 chemistry books. and I want to arrange them in a shelf at random. The only constraint is that all maths books should be together, all physics books should be together, all chemistry books should be together, right? First of all, there are these three groups. This is group A, this is group B, this is group C. Chemistry will always be group C. Can't be coincidence that it featured in group C. So I have three groups. First of all, look upon these as singular entities. So there are three groups. They can be mutually permuted in 3 factorial ways, right? The three groups can be mutually permuted in 3 factorial ways. Group A, Group B, Group C, ABC, BCA, CAB, etc. Right? Six ways. And now there is an internal permutation that will happen with the maths books. There is an internal permutation for the physics books. There is an internal permutation for the chemistry books. The 5 maths books could be permuted in 5 factorial ways. So into 5 factorial. The 3 physics books in 3 factorial ways. The 2 chemistry books in 2 factorial. Whatever this turns out to be. That will be the answer. Right? Have you done this calculation? How much is it? 3, 4, 5, 6, 0. Okay. Next problem, very instructional, very simple problem, but this will again give you a clear idea of some of the elements. So there are 10 mangoes and 20 oranges, and I want to make a selection of a fruit. There are 2 premises. Premise number 1, when these mangoes are identical, then it does not matter which mango you pick. Then the selection is how many mangoes. If the mangoes are all identical, then picking M1 or picking M2 is the same. It will not matter what mangoes you are selecting. It will matter how many mangoes you are selecting, if they are all same. Same with oranges? Yes or no? So if they are all same, then in how many ways can I select a mango? No, beta. If they are all same, then my mode of selection, please listen to me very carefully. This mode of selection would be either I select 0 mango, or I select 1 mango, or I select 2 mangoes, or I select 3 mangoes, or I select 10 mangoes. Then it will not matter which 1 mango I am selecting or which 2 mangoes I am selecting, because they are all identical. Then what would matter is how many mangoes I am selecting in a selection. You know what I am saying? So which means now, if I have 10 mangoes, what are the various things that I can do with a mango selection? Selection is now based on how many mangoes, not which mango. So I can select one mode of selection is 0 mangoes. One is selecting 1 mango, 2 mangoes, 3 mangoes, 10 mangoes. These are 11 modes. Selection of mangoes can take place in 11 ways. Yes or no? Please make sure you understand what I'm saying. Selection of mangoes can take place in 11 ways. Why? 0 mango selected is one way. 1 mango selected is another way. 2 mangoes selected is the third way. 10 mangoes selected is the 11th way. So there are 11 ways of making a selection on mango, which includes a case in which no mango has been selected. So 11. So for this case, 11 mangoes, 11 ways in which mangoes could be selected. Now for each of these ways, if there are 20 oranges, they are also identical. In how many ways can I select oranges? 21 ways. Either I select 0 orange or 1 orange or 2 oranges, 3 oranges or 20 oranges. 21 ways of selecting oranges. Got me? 21. But so 220 plus 11, 231, right? 231. But this includes that one case in which neither a mango nor an orange has been selected. So you want to exclude that case? So I'll take 230, because this includes one case in which no mango, no orange has been selected. A selection has to be made, right? So that makes it 230 cases, right? If they are all same. If they are all same, it is the numbers that I have to select, not which one, because they are the same. Now, if they are all different, so I have these mangoes now. Let me call them M1, M2, M10. And the oranges, O1, O2, O10, O20, right? These are my oranges. They are different now. Now I go to, now when I make a selection, it will matter which mango I am selecting, because they are different. Now I go to M1 and ask M1, what are the 2 things I can do with you? M1 will say, there are only two things you want to do with me. One, leave me alone. Two, leave me alone. So you will not listen to the mango, right? That's not a good option for the mango. So for you, there are two options. Either select the mango or don't select the mango. So there are two things that you can do with mango 1. Two things you can do with mango 2. Two things you can do with mango 10. That makes it selection of mangoes can take place in 2 to power 10 ways. Same with oranges. There are two things that you can do with O1. Two things you can do with O2. Two things you can do with O30. So there are 2 power 30 ways you can select oranges. 2 power 20 ways you can select oranges. That means now the total number of ways is number of ways in which mangoes would be selected and number of ways in which oranges could be selected. That makes it 2 to power 30. But there is one case in which I have made no selection at all, not a mango, not an orange. You want to exclude that case, right? So 2 to power 30 minus 1 is the required number of ways if they are different, and 2 to 30 if they are same. Sure ना? पक्का? पूछ ले बेटा, डाउट है तो. नहीं कॉमा ठीक है कि नहीं ठीक है? दो अलग चीज हो जाएगा. So 4 men and 6 women. Obviously you won't assume they're identical, right? Single copy of each. And you want to select a committee out of these men and women, right? The constraint given is that there must be at least 2 from both the fraternities, men and women, right? And the number of women should be at least twice the number of men, right? That's the condition. So one way to create a committee is I select 2 men because that's a requirement of the problem, and then the women could have been 4, or I could have selected 2 men and the women could have been 5 also, or I could have selected 2 men and there could have been 6 women, right? Yes or no? Is there anything else that I could do? 3 men and 6 women is also a possibility, right? Because twice, at least twice. Is there anything else that we can do? Nothing. Right? I mean, it'll require 2 men at least to handle all the havoc. Sorry, huh? No, I'm not a chauvinist. So 2 men to be selected from 4 in how many ways? 4C2 ways, this case. And 4 women to be selected from 6 in how many ways? 6C4 ways. That's this case. Yes or no? Case 2. 2 men to be selected from 4 in 4C2 ways and 5 women from 6 in 6C5 ways. Obviously they're not going to be parading, so it's only selection, right? Sorry? 4C2, 6C5. Huh? Then this case, 4C2, and there is only one way you can select all the 6 women from 6 available, right? And then there are 3 men to be selected from 4. So 4C3, and there are 6. There is only one way we can do this count. So I need to add. Kitna hai? 6, and what is 6C4? 15. Physics is 90. What is this? 6 into 6, 36. What is this? 6. What is this? 4. 10, 36. 126? 136 है? 136 है? 10, 46, 136. हाँ ठीक है. 10, 46 and 90. 136 is the count. Is this what you got? 5 different red balls and 6 different white balls. All right, and I want to select 6 balls in all. Given that 2 of each color must be selected. Given that 2 of each color must be selected, right? There are 5 different red balls, 6 different white balls, and I want to make a selection of 6. Given that each color must be 2 in numbers at least, right? So one way is I can select 2 red and 4 white, or I could have selected 3 red and 3 white, or I could have selected 4 red and 2 white. Anything else? 9? Okay. So now look at this count. 5C2, 2 red balls to be selected from 5 in 5C2 ways, and 4 white balls to be selected from 6 in 6C4 ways. Yes or no? Then 5C3, 6C3, then 5C4, 6C2, and I need to add these. This plus this plus this is all that I need to do. Right? Has anyone done the calculation for this? 425. The next problem, again, very direct application. There are 10 lamps, and I want to illuminate a room by lighting one or more of the lamps. In how many ways can the room be illuminated? That's a question, right? So now, lamp 1, it can exist in 2 states, switched on, switched off. Lamp 2, that can exist in 2 states, switched on, switched off. Lamp 10 can exist in 2 states, switched on, so that makes it 2 to the power 10, which is 32 squared, which is 1024. But this includes one case in which all lamps are switched off, isn't it? So exclude that case, because otherwise there will be no illumination. Then you'll have to look for no external light but enlightenment. Right? Stand by. ठीक है? The next problem is about a question paper in which there is part A comprising 3 questions, part B comprising 4 questions, right? So this is like, say, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q3, and this is like, say, questions are P1, P2, P4, right? And he needs to attempt at least one question from each part. In how many ways that can be done? Now come to part A. In how many ways part A could be addressed? So I go to question 1. What are the 2 things I can do? Either attempt or not attempt. Q2, either attempt or not attempt. Q3, either attempt or not attempt. That makes it 8, but this includes one case in which no question is attempted, so I exclude that case. So that makes it 7 ways of dealing with part A. Yes or no? Go to part B. With the first question, P1, there are 2 things I could do, either attempt or not attempt. With P2, 2 things, attempt or not attempt. P4, attempt or not attempt. That makes it 2 to the power 4, 16. But this includes one case in which no question is attempted, so exclude that case. So that makes it 15. So 7 ways of attempting part A into 15 ways of attempting part B, that makes it 105 ways in all, right? There are 8 different types of books and 11 copies of each book. H.C. Verma 11, D.C. Pandey 11, Cengage 11, right? And I want to make a selection of one or more books. So I go to book B1. What are the things I can do with B1? Either I select no copy of B1, or 1 copy of B1 or 2 copies of B1 or 11 copies of B1. So in how many ways can I deal with B1? 12 ways. 12 ways I can deal with B1. And how many ways with B2? How many ways with B8? That makes it 12 to power 8. But this includes one case in which no book is selected. So exclude that case. 12 to power 8 minus 1. Right? Clear, no?